Hi, I'm Beverly Banwa Brown. I'm an intuitive, a life and relationship coach, and a love mentor. Have been now for over 3 decades. And in working with people all the way up from little children to people in their high 90s, from all different backgrounds and locations and socioeconomic backgrounds, religious preferences, sexual preferences, colors, cultures, it doesn't matter. There's always been certain patterns that I've noticed, certain behaviors and emotions that are common to everyone. A sense of isolation, a sense of loneliness sometimes creeps up on even the most lovingly connected people. People with strong family connections, people with close friendships, bonds between coworkers. It doesn't seem to matter. Everybody feels lonely at some times. Now, sometimes it's very acute, brought on very obviously by the death of a loved one, by the loss of a pet, by the relationship that you've been either counting on developing well or have been in for a period of time breaking up, needing to change form. Sometimes you've moved, you've relocated to a new town, and you're missing your friends, you're homesick for the home you had, the location you were familiar with, the friends that have come to mean something to you and you to them. So then what you're lonely for is something very identifiable, and it's usually fairly time limited. And it can make you feel isolated. Loss of any kind, loss of a job, a career, sometimes even with some people, something they've loved to work with, like a boat or a particular car, or something has happened so that they cannot continue a hobby or a skill that they've really reveled in. All of this change can bring on a sense of loneliness. The harder one is more of a sense of a chronic sense of isolation and loneliness, a feeling of lack of connection, understanding, mutual communion between people. And this and the other kind of loneliness and isolation both have in common that you have a sense that somehow the comfort of companionship, the joy, the balm to your soul, so to speak, of real shared golden moments of understanding and fun and lightness of being aren't happening as much as you want, or they don't seem to be happening at all. Well, one thing that radical gratitude can do for you right away is it can help you to remember that whether you feel significant in other people's lives or not, you're significant in your own life. You're the star, as we all are, of your own movie. And you have options, you have choices that you can make. You can go in any sort of direction you really want to and act on your dreams. Sometimes I believe that loneliness and a sense of isolation come as gift to you to let you know that you need not necessarily to distract yourself from it, but to recognize it as an emotion, as an indication that perhaps you could be more proactive in your life. But before you call a friend, or before you go take out the credit card and shop for new clothes or new perfume or a new radio or car or stereo or whatever, or turn to food and overeat, or turn to alcohol or any other kind of drug, I'm going to suggest that you use radical gratitude to understand that loneliness or a sense of being isolated is just an emotional barometer of where you are in that moment. Emotions are exactly that. They're energy in motion, emotion. And they don't have to be anything good or bad. Contentment is wonderful. Loneliness can be wonderful. Grieving can be wonderful. Bliss and ecstasy can be wonderful. It's just that in that moment when you feel the joyfulness, if you have the contrast of feeling lonely, you judge it. We judge it. So part of radical gratitude is removing the judgments and focusing in on looking for the gift, looking for the lesson, looking for the blessing in even the emotions that we have labeled as bad, like loneliness, like feeling isolated. Now, on a very practical level, of course, if you feel you don't have enough close friendships or you're single and you want to have a partner, there's nothing wrong with being proactive and finding ways to meet new people and continuing to work on yourself, giving yourself, and that's part of where radical gratitude comes in, giving yourself the qualities that you'd like in the partner, because then you're coming from abundance. You're coming from an abundance of knowledge of your own good, and you are so much likelier, because your point of attraction is more positive and stronger, you're more likely to be able to attract that person who's going to be able to reflect that in themselves as you're already reflecting it in you. Radical gratitude can turn us around from feeling lonely by feeling our interconnectedness with absolutely everything. Because the truth is, we're not specks among billions and billions of souls on this planet. We are nothing less than the sons and daughters of the Most High Universe. God, Goddess, all it is, whatever name you want to give it, the energy of life. It doesn't matter so much, I believe, what we call it. We all know within ourselves what it is for us. And we all have our own unique understanding of what I'm talking about. And I would never want to presume to try and give you my perception of it when you have your own. How can we use radical gratitude to instantly shift from loneliness and a sense of being isolated to knowing our oneness with all things? Or, as the Bible calls it, the peace that passes all understanding. Golden nuggets, I like to call them, of insight that I've gleaned from my own life, because I certainly have known loneliness and a sense of isolation at times. And there are days when it's gone from my life entirely, and then there are moments, usually if I don't feel well physically, when it can kind of revisit. It doesn't last long, though, because I use these practices, and through new neural pathways being created, neuroplasticity of the brain, I've been able to train myself to recognize the fact that if that emotion of loneliness creeps in, I'm forgetting my oneness. And the word one is actually in the spelling of loneliness, if you look at it. And when I forget my oneness with all, that's when I can get lonely, which is just an illusion. So, golden nugget number 1 for today. From my heart, right to yours. At a time when you can be quiet and still, go inside. Go inside and find the pearl, the wisdom, and pull it out of you that will allow you to change your focus from what seems to be missing, whether it's a place, a person, a thing, an activity, to the blessings that are already present in your life. And as you do this, and you might want to journal about it, or you might want to dance, put on some music and dance. You might want to make it visual with not only a journal, but possibly making a vision board of what you'd like to co-create with the universe in an ideal life. That can be very helpful for many people to make it visual, and it's also tactile because you're feeling it, cutting, pasting, visualizing. It's all the different aspects of your brain involved, which is a good thing. Next golden nugget. In this moment, what are you most grateful for in your life? Simply asking that question absolutely turns from lack, from what appears in your belief system to not be there, to what already is there. Let that be your focus. What am I most grateful for in this moment? Then ask yourself, what am I most grateful for in my relationships with other people? What is the most beautiful aspect of my day? How can I bring more of all that is already good into my life? How can I bring more of a celebratory attitude to everything I do? And then if the loneliness still persists, I'm going to ask you to go within, and instead of ignoring it or resisting it or making it wrong to feel whatever it is you're feeling, explore the feeling. Take a few deep cleansing breaths in and out. Let your body come to rest. Let your muscles really relax. And ask yourself, when is the first time I remember being with that emotion of loneliness? And what do I remember about that experience? How old was I? Where was I? Who was with me? Was I by myself? Was I feeling alone? Was I feeling abandoned? Was I feeling neglected? And then go back within yourself to that time as the healthy adult you, right here and now, who has all sorts of marvelous options. And speak to that child with love, with reassurance that you are never isolated, you are never alone, you always have your full, wonderful, amazing, and unique self to call upon. And then, depending on your spiritual preferences and beliefs, let yourself feel the engulfing, wonderful embrace of the divine in whatever way you understand that word to mean. I really believe that if you get into the habit of doing all of this, or some of it, you pick and choose whatever feels right, and through doing this, many new ideas may arise in your own beautiful imagination. I think you'll see a change. Until next time, I'm Beverly Banois Brown, and it's been a joy, as always, to have the time with you and the privilege of preparing this video. So many people are suffering from loneliness, millions and millions of all ages. So if you found this video to be of help to you, please feel free to share it on your social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you can do if you feel so guided. And in the meantime, also please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, there are many, many other topics. Check them out because they're all designed very carefully to be of great blessing in all areas of your life. If you've enjoyed any part of this, I'd love it if you'd leave me a like so I'll know it. And if you'd like to be in touch, please don't hesitate ever to leave me a commentary below the YouTube screen. I do love hearing from you, your thoughts, your ideas. The vibrancy of all of them touch me greatly. Until next time, bye for now, and many, many beautiful and bright blessings.